seeing double this hour, which is something our next guest has made into a global phenomenon. Let me explain. For the past 20 years, photographer Francois Brunelle has made it his mission to track down and photograph people who resemble each other. Over 250 photo shoots later, Francois' project, which he titled I'm Not a Lookalike, has grabbed media attention in over 50 countries all around the world and has him traveling far and wide to pursue lookalikes. Tam please welcome Francois Brunelle to the show. So, Francois, thank you so much. I see you're in the studio behind you. Let's take this back a bit. This started some years ago. People started saying you look like the British TV actor Mr. Bean, played by Rowan Atkinson. We have the picture of you there. So this started on your own personal journey.
Yes, well, I was told by a lot of people that I look like a certain Mr. Bean, which I didn't know what that was exactly. And but one day I was watching television and I saw a weird person taking his bath, and I think the wall was falling down. And I just looked at that person and that character on the screen, and I said, that looks like me. It's incredible. But then I said, well, it's only between the television and me, so it's who cares? But then the television program ended, and then I saw these letters, Mr. Bean. So I thought, oh no, I think I look like this character, and people think I look like him, so I must look like him. But before that, I thought that I looked like Mr. Dean, James Dean, not Mr. Dean.
Well, it's so funny. You were inspired then to look for other people. It started locally, it's gone global. 250 pairs of lookalikes around the world you found. Do you get these people from word of mouth? How do you find them?
Well, it's through the internet. Well, at first I had a website where I would ask people to register. And then it was a little bit new for the people, so nobody understood exactly what I was doing. Even me, I guess, I didn't understand well what I was doing. But after a few years, then the media picked up my ID, and then they spread the word, and I started to have to receive emails from all around the world, really all around the world, and I guess I've received more than 10,000 emails.
Wow. You, though, have this thing where you say two people must be verified lookalikes for them to be considered real lookalikes. What's a verified lookalike?
When people meet someone and they think it's another person, then for me, that's a real lookalike, because if you bring these two people together, you probably notice that they're not the same. And if you look at my pictures that I did for my project, when you look at the picture, they look the same, some of them more and some of them less, but it doesn't matter, because there was confusion in the past. And it happened to me once. I was in a meeting and I was talking to a friend photographer, and at some point he said, do we know each other? And so that was suspicious, because my friend has no sense of humor whatsoever. So I told him, well, you're Jean, right? As a joke. And he says, no, my name is Jacques. So okay, oh, you're not my friend.
So you saw your friends look alike. Let me ask you though, some of these people have never met before. Most of them, are most of them strangers?
I would say half and half, because some people, they reach out to me because they have a friend, a longtime friend that looks like them, and the mothers or the fathers or the teachers, they had this confusion about them, so they reach out to me. But some other people, they meet for the first time, and it's quite interesting. Like there was a famous hockey player here, Jean Béliveau, and he's deceased now, but he came to my studio, and his lookalike came from far away, like he drove like 500 miles just to be with his hero. And they pretty much look the same. And so he told me that all his life he was told that he looked like the famous hockey player. Yeah. So it was very interesting to have this meeting.
I have to ask you though, with a lookalike, I would be tempted to do a DNA test, because I'm like, are we related? Have you found any people who were actually related?
No. And I had some doubt at some point, but since I did research with a Spanish researcher, Dr. Estela Badoza, and he did the DNA test on a few of them, and he certified to me that no, they're not related, and I was very relieved, because I had my doubts.
because they look so much alike. Well, coming up, we're going to meet the besties photographed by Francois who look so much alike, even their own friends and family have mistaken them. Plus, we're going to meet my look-alike. Don't miss it. Welcome back. We are seeing double this entire hour with a special episode dedicated to strangers who look alike. But before we get to our next guest, I got to give a shout out to birthday twins Sean and Darius from Georgia. They have you seeing double in real life. Happy birthday, twins. All right, so as I said, we're talking to people who are not related but are lookalikes. And back with us is photographer Francois Brunelle, who's been on a mission, you might say, for 2 decades, tracking down lookalikes all around the world as a part of a photography project in many different countries. Now, this has started out for him as a journey, but he's photographed somewhere around 250 pairs of lookalikes, including our next guest. Now, take a look at this picture with me, Tam Fam. You're probably thinking they must be twins, but as you know from watching the show, they're not twins. They are, though, lookalikes. Michael Malone and Charlie Chasin met 25 years ago in Atlanta through a band. Soon after meeting, people noticed how much they look alike. Even friends started mistaking them for each other when they went out in public, leading to some very memorable moments, they say. Please welcome Michael and Charlie to the show.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, wow. So, Michael, Charlie, thank you so much. So the picture that we saw early on, that was in 2014, but you've even grayed the same. I mean, yeah. It's kind of crazy. You said that this has led to some memorable moments, Michael. Like what?
Just roundabout cases of mistaken identity. I was out with Charlie's partner one time, and a longtime friend of Charlie's mistook me for him, and then I decided to go in with the joke and pretended to be Charlie, and then his partner got in on the joke, and we fooled this guy for about 15 minutes, and then I spilled the beans, and he was a little bit upset. I had to show him my ID.
Oh, my.
It was funny.
That is funny.
So we've had adventures like that.
Charlie, when you look at Michael, do you see yourself? Do you understand why people believe that you look so much alike?
I mean, absolutely. Just because over the years, we've heard so much about it, and we've had so much fun with it, and I've seen so many pictures at this point, right? Like, that one was a long time ago. But, in the beginning, I don't think either of us thought that. We were just friends, and I realized that at the grocery store one day, this guy came up and started talking to me, and he was asking me all these questions, and I finally just looked at him and said, "Wait a minute, do you think I'm Michael Malone?" Because I couldn't figure it out. Like, who was this person? And we've had 1,000 stories like that.
We still have Francois with us who photographed you guys. I have to ask you, though, Michael, as I said earlier, I would be tempted to do a DNA test. If someone resembled me that much, I'm like, you might be my brother or sister. I'm assuming that that's not possible with the two of you.
We are not related.
Not related at all.
No, we both have done DNA tests, and we were also in the test that Francois was talking about with the Spanish doctors, and they went back 100 generations, or not 100 generations, 100 years.
Yeah.
And we have similar DNA because, I mean, that's what the test said was, right. Or what the doctor said is that there's only so much facial DNA out there, and it's going to repeat itself after a while.
That's interesting.
So we have that similar, but we have different backgrounds, 100%.
Well, let me bring in Francois to that point. Francois, you say that it's impossible not to have a look-alike.
Yes, well, according to Dr. Estela Badoza, that's what he says, because of the number of people on Earth, which are by the billions. So, of course, there's so much possibilities in the DNA. So, of course, you may have 1, 2, or maybe more. Well, the usual say we hear we have 7 lookalikes in the world now. Is it true? I don't know, but that's what I've been hearing a lot of times. But I spoke to a mathematician once, and he told me, I'm sure there are only 200 kind of faces in the world. But you have all these stories.
That's fascinating. 200 kinds of faces in the world. So, Michael and Charlie, for you, when friends can't tell you apart, I mean, these are people closest to you. That's incredible.
Absolutely. Actually, we were, this actually just happened like a month or so ago. We were at a funeral, and a partner's mother died. And as my cousins, who I've known my entire life, were getting out of the car, they said, "Oh, there's Charlie. Let's go over to him." And realized walking towards him that it was actually Michael.
Jennifer. Yes, I remember that. Yes.
Wow. I'm not kidding. When you just laughed, your bodies moved and shifted in the same exact way. It is remarkable. Science and humanity is something, isn't it? I'm speechless, Francois. What an enviable job you have, because this is more than a photograph. It really is a fascinating, as you've presented, conversation on DNA and who we are as humans. Thank you. I know I just got really heady there because I can't stop staring at the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you. Wow.